Hello, my name is Martin Ehala. This video is the first one in a series of clips about identities, collective, relational and personal. I am going to analyze identity-related issues based on understanding that every identity is a sign, in the sense how the notion of sign is understood in semiotics and linguistics. Of course, I am not the first one to have conceptualized identity as a sign. I got it about 10 years ago from John Joseph's book Language and Identity, National Ethnic Religious. He just mentions that identity has the structure of a sign but leaves the idea there. Later, when I was developing this idea further, I learned that several others have in some or the other connection expressed the same idea. For example, Roderick Barth in his famous essay about boundaries, Bourdieu in his monumental work Distinction, Judith Butler in her Bodies That Matter, and probably others, but these are the ones that I am aware of. While several researchers have had at least implicit understanding of identities as signs, no one, on my best knowledge, has attempted to develop this idea into a coherent theory that would have consequences to the way how we analyze identity-related problems. This is what is new in my approach. In this first video, I do not get to the issues of identity. I start with explaining the concept of sign. It is necessary in order for you to understand how identity is one of signs. However, if you are familiar with the works of Ferdinand de Saussure and Charles Sanders Peirce, you may wish to skip the rest of this clip and go directly to the next one, which applies this concept to the analysis of identity. Signs are means of communication. The main purpose of communication is to convey meanings. Meaning is something that one knows. So in communication, one of the communicators wants the other to know what he or she knows. As humans generally are not able to read each other's minds, there is no direct way to send messages to each other. For this reason, we need signs. Signs are like vessels by which meanings travel in the communication process from the mind of the sender to the mind of the receiver. Or to be precise, it is the signal part of the sign that makes it possible. To understand it, one needs to know the structure of signs. The sign concept was introduced by Ferdinand de Saussure, a Swiss linguist, in early 20th century. According to him, sign consists of two sides, the meaning that is called signified and the signal that is called signifier. As these terms are somewhat obscure, I will instead keep using meaning and signal. So every sign consists of the meaning part and the signal part. Typical examples of signs are human language words, like the word cat. So the word cat as a sign consists of the meaning part, which is a small pet animal related to tigers, and the signal part of the word is the sound sequence of cat. There are a couple of things that it is good to know about the relationship between the meaning part and the signal part. First, this relationship is arbitrary. This means that there is no particular reason why a certain sound sequence has a certain meaning. Why cat means cat. The sound sequence cat could mean anything else. It could mean table, it could mean dog, it could mean whatever you can imagine. And in some languages actually it is the case. Cat doesn't mean cat but means something else. The other thing about this sign, the relationship between the meaning and the signal, is that this relationship is consensual, meaning that we all agree that cat means cat. Even though there is no particular reason why cat should mean cat, we all agree, and because of that consensus, we can understand each other. It also means that nobody of us could change the relationship. Nobody could start to use cat in the meaning of dog. If you try it, you will fail because nobody would understand you. So that's the basic way how the meaning and the signal is related. It is arbitrary but consensual. Now, all signs together constitute a shared mental lexicon. Imagine this mental lexicon like a book of dictionary book. A dictionary book that every single speaker of that language has memorized. And by memorizing it, it means It is a shared mental lexicon. It contains all the words of that language, but it also consists of lots of other signs which might have a kind of visual signal part that we can recognize and have a certain specific meaning that we all know, like the symbol of euro, or smileys, or no smoking sign, or traffic signs, and there are many, many more that we all share. They are all symbols, each of which has a signal part which we can empirically perceive, and the meaning part that we all share. All these share that know the meaning of that sign. So, well, I think this much is necessary to know about the nature of signs to understand how identities, human identities, can be conceptualized as signs. My main proposition is that identities are signs that convey societal meanings, that identities and human language words have a similar structure as signs, and that identities and human language words have the same type of existence ontologically. Both are shared mental representations. I will explain all these propositions with examples in my following clips, so stay tuned. Thank you very much for listening.